Thank you for staying with us and welcome to Face Off on Channels Television. I'm Nel Taigbe. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission has conducted several rerun elections across the country, the fallout of nullified elections directed by the various courts. Now, many have been victorious while some contenders have lost out in the process and are accusing INEC of alleged complicity. Some have even gone back to the tribunal. Angry reactions have continued to trail the rescheduling of these elections in some states like Anambra and Imo, where the exercise has been postponed indefinitely. Now, in all these, politicians are still back to the court, alleging discrepancies in the rerun elections. All eyes are now on the country's electoral process. Are there any lessons learned from the discourse or from the conduct of these elections that INEC can use to improve electioneering in the future? Scheduling of reruns are illegal, but has INEC met their expectations? And why is it difficult for Nigerian politicians to accept, why does it look like Nigerian politicians are finding it difficult to accept defeat after elections? Must they go to the tribunals and so that we continue to have these rerun elections? Oh, well, I'm not a politician, but we're talking this part of it, and we have two politicians in the studio. Well, one happens to be also a lawyer. Well, I don't know, he'll tell us whether he's a political lawyer or he's just a lawyer. But please join me to welcome Chike Ojiako, a member of the All Progressives Congress. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks very much.
And a member of the People's Democratic Party and also a lawyer, Emeka Ihejirika. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, welcome everybody, especially those at home.
All right, the question we're asking is, the rerun elections in Nigeria, are we getting it right? Your position?
Yes, we're getting it right.
All right.
Obviously.
Okay, and you?
We're not getting it right. We've not started getting it right.
Okay. We'll take a moment. They've stayed their stance. Yes, we're getting it right. We've not started getting it right. We'll take a moment and we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll look at why we're getting it right or why we're not yet getting it right. But you can be a part of the conversations. Our Twitter handles are showing on your screen at FaceUp Today or at Nel Taigbe. Then if it's longer than 140 characters, send us a mail, faceoff@channelstv.com. We'll be back shortly. Don't go away.
We're going to deploy massively human and material resources, and I've said it and I repeat it, we're going to stretch the elasticity of the law in respect of any of the offenses that may have been committed. And by that I mean we will go to the full extent of that law.
The words of the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations, Nigeria Police Force in INEC headquarters in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Is here to assure the electoral body and residents in the state of watertight security during the polls. This gathering of top-ranking officers at 2 Brigade Nigerian Army is at the instance of the Directorate of Public Relations of the military for their study week to interact with the media. And the call to guarantee security in the Niger Delta is no less intense. Men and officers of Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps at the headquarters of the NSCDC also appear to be on the alert.
We want to ensure that our men are rolled out for this purpose. As you can see, the tempo is high from the gate, from everywhere. The men are here. In fact, the number you're seeing here are just 1/3 of the person we are going to deploy for this exercise.
With the apparent unified force of the security agencies in the state, residents can only hope that their security concerns during the State and National Assembly rerun have been laid to rest. Emmanuel Ere, Channels Television News.
Welcome back. Now that's a build-up to the rerun exercise or elections in Rivers State. But in other areas where this has taken place and where that's still going to be taking place, Anambra and Imo, for instance, we understand they've been postponed. Why? But my guests are divided. We're getting it right, but not yet getting it right. So let's come back into the studio and find out what Mr. Ihejirika and Ojiako have to say to each other. I don't know who would ask the first question. You say we're getting it right. Yeah. Maybe you want to ask him why he thinks we're yet to get it right.
Yeah. In an electoral process, if you go for an exam and the exam is not right, or you feel that the exam has been compromised, what do? It's not to reset the exam? In that case, what has happened? I think we deepen our democracy when we do that.
Oh, okay, but I think I would have loved if he said we are getting it right. I think he would have he would have said why he thinks we are getting it right.
Okay.
So that way, I will now tell him why I feel that we are not yet getting it right. Because I feel that as of today, we are in 2016. We are not yet getting these rerun elections right.
And what is wrong with it?
I wonder. It's not. First of all, election is a process.
Yes, I agree with you.
And if you don't get the whole process right, you've not gotten it right.
That is
based
correct,
on what is currently happening in Imo State, in Anambra State, and even to the build-up of this rerun election in Rivers State. Bayelsa was not a rerun election per se, but you can say it's a rerun election because it was not held when all other elections during the normal general election. It was like a standalone election. One can even call it a rerun election. It's not a rerun election, but it's a standalone election. Rerun elections are normally standalone elections. So there's nothing different between the rerun elections you are even having in Rivers State now and what happened in Bayelsa State.
I think you're getting something wrong.
No, I'm not getting anything wrong.
No, I'll tell you what you're getting wrong. What you're getting wrong is
Yes.
this. You asked a question.
Yes.
Are rerun elections, are we getting it right?
Yes.
Fundamentally, if you look at elections in Nigeria, INEC has not done their best. INEC is 16 years old. I mean, INEC, as we have it today, is almost like an appendage of the opposition party now, PDP, for 16 good years. And they have not done what they're supposed to do.
Okay,
and for us to deepen this
What you're
democracy...
saying that you're implying that the PDP, when it was in power, had been in control
of INEC. And they're still in control of INEC as we speak, because nothing fundamentally has changed. And that is why you have all of this.
Strange. You're saying INEC is not independent?
Well, I don't think, of course, you know, during the last 60 years PDP had power, you cannot call what was happening independence of INEC.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
The only interruption that has happened in the dispensation was the 2015 election, where, because of superior intelligence and superior strategy, the ruling party now has to do that conglomeration and restore power back from PDP.
You're saying,
and that is why we are now getting it right.
You're saying under the leadership of the APC in Nigeria,
yes,
the PDP is still controlling INEC?
Absolutely. The individuals in INEC, if you check it, the only person that has been changed in this time is the new INEC chairman. Every other person is still there. The structures are still there. Nothing has changed. The people that have been using all this time to commit havoc, to have taken Nigeria back to the dark ages of democracy, they are still there. Nothing has changed. And in a situation like that, what do you expect? If you offend me, for instance, we have gone into an election, and this election is compromised from the beginning, like what happened in Imo State. The Okigwe senatorial election was already compromised before the election itself. What do you do when something like that happens? So when you're talking about rerun elections, they are extremely necessary in a democracy. Like I told you, if you're a professor, you have set your questions, and along the line, the questions leaked. If you continue with that examination, you have already compromised the thing before it starts. And that's what's been happening.
Okay, without conceding, I see the statement that INEC have not done their best coming from my friend here. He's contradicting himself.
Nope.
He said, the rerun elections are okay, they are perfect. And he's here telling you that INEC have not done their best.
But he said that
no. Wait. Let me calm down. Because he gave an example of Imo State, the Imo North, or in bracket Okigwe, also known as Okigwe Zone.
Yes.
That election,
that's right.
I'm happy he's from Imo State, so we will trash it here.
Absolutely.
In fact, let's use it as an example, whether INEC got it, is getting it right or they're not getting it right. Not only INEC, because there are several, these rural elections, there are several agencies and organizations involved. INEC is involved, police is involved. Sometimes the military gives peripheral security, not really at the polling booths, but you know, the general duties that the military have to do. Sometimes even the paramilitary gets involved in maybe issues of security. Now, you are talking of Imo North, Okigwe Zone. Why I said INEC, everybody involved in the process didn't get it right is, for example, what happened in Imo North is that a day to the elections, on the 19th of February, the elections are supposed to be held on the 20th of February. On the 19th of February, the APC candidate and the former Speaker of Imo State, Honorable Ben Owajumogu, organized people to go after all the agents of the various parties have inspected the sensitive materials from the CBN. Wait, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. You have your day. You have your day.
But I like to warn you also.
Yeah.
That you're a lawyer and you take responsibility for any statement you make.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, because in law, facts admitted, you don't need to prove them again. Once somebody admits something, you don't need to prove the facts that have already been
But let's
admitted.
look at the issue
You don't,
of
prove,
conduct.
you don't prove, you don't prove facts on the
No,
court
wait.
of law. You prove facts on the court of law.
No, wait.
You don't just say on your own and prove facts.
Yes, but
So who proves facts?
when somebody
Who sets the standards for proving facts?
when I admit,
So how can you say
wait
because
now.
you have said it is a fact?
No, wait.
Are you saying because you said
when
it's a fact?
when I admit that this paper is mine, I admit it. This is my paper. You don't need to come and prove that this paper is mine because I've already admitted that this paper is mine.
And nobody has
now,
done it. There was no admission
now,
here. There's absolutely no admission.
Let him finish.
The candidate of the All Progressive Congress, APC, before a stakeholders meeting at INEC office Owerri, held on the 7th of March, admitted yes, that he sent people to INEC office and he gave his reasons. He also admitted on a radio program, live radio program, a phone-in radio program, that he sent people to INEC